This is week 7, day 4, ELA, dictionaries and glossaries. So here, if we read the directions, it says read the paragraph below, use the glossary to fill in the blanks. Remember yesterday we learned that a glossary is an alphabetical list of words accompanying a book, story, or paper. So yesterday we kind of had the story and then we had the glossary. Today we have the glossary and then we have the story. So I would read the glossary through and then read the story, and then I would go back through and I would see which ones of these words made sense in the blanks. Now remember, Miss Silger will do blank 1 and blank 2 with you, but you're going to have to do the rest of them by yourself. You do only use these words once. So I would, once I've used the word, cross it out. Now they do get a little tricky here. And you do use both the word founded and founding. So you will use both. Tricky, 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 tricky. But we're not going to let them trick us. All right, so here we have agricultural, is raising crops and animals, farming. Assume is to take on as one's own. Astronomical means having to do with the stars. Capital is the most important city in a country, usually where the government resides, so that means kind of lives or is. Compromise is to agree to something that is not entirely what you wanted, so that others can have some of what they wanted. Founded or founding means established or establishing. Monument is a statue, building, or other structure that reminds people of an event or person. And a survey means to measure the lines and angles of a piece of land in order to make plans to build on it. So remember, we're used to surveys where they ask us questions and we give answer, but this survey is where they measure basically how big something is and what can fit on it and whether or not it'll run into somebody else's property. So this is a lot of math. So we have the history of Washington, D.C. So remember, Washington, D.C. is the capital of the United States. So here it says Washington, D.C. was blank on July 16th, 1790 and was established by the Constitution of the United States to serve as the nation's blank. Its site along the Potomac and Anacostia rivers was chosen by the first president, George Washington, and was the result of a blank. Alexander Hamilton in the northern states wanted the new federal government to blank Revolutionary War debts, and Thomas Jefferson in the southern states wanted the capital placed in a location friendly to slave-holding blank interests. So remember, this is back in 1790. So the South still had slaves back in 1790. Remember, it wasn't until Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves in 1863. So we still had to wait another 73 years before the slaves were going to be free. The city was designed by Pierre Charles L'Enfant. Benjamin Banneker, a self-taught African-American mathematical genius, look at this, used blank calculations to blank and lay out the city. During the War of 1812, most of the city was burnt to the ground by invading British soldiers. It wasn't until almost 100 years after its blank that Washington, D.C. began to take shape as the city we know today, with its National Mall and blank. So Miss Silger's only going to do the first 2 blanks for you, and that means that Miss Silger's doing the first full sentence with you. So we have all of our words up here. Washington, D.C. was blank on July 16th, 1790. So if it was something on July 16th, 1790, I know that that was kind of when something was created. So let's go see, maybe one of these words is like created or made or something. Agricultural is farming. Assume is take on as one's own. Astronomical means having to do with the stars. Nope. Capital is the most important city in a country. No. Compromise is to agree to something. Definitely not. Founding is established or establishing. So I kind of like that, established or establishing. So Washington, D.C. was founded on July 16th, 1790. And I like the way that one sounds. I wouldn't want was founding, because that would be kind of silly. And look, and was established. Founded. Beautiful. Then remember what Miss Silger said. We were only using it once, so Miss Silger's crossing that word out. And was established by the Constitution of the United States to serve as the nation's blank. So Washington, D.C. is a city. So it's serving as the country's something, but I don't know what it is. So we'll go back and read the words. Raising crops and animals, farming, agricultural, nah. Assumed to take on as one's own, nah. Astronomical, having to do with the stars, eh. Or the most important city in a country. Aha! It is a city in the United States. So I like the word capital. That fits wonderfully. So we have Washington, D.C. was founded on July 16th, 1790, and was established by the Constitution of the United States to serve as the nation's capital. And then Miss Sloger is going to go ahead and cross out capital because that sounds excellent and we're not using it again. So you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on your own. You have 7 words, 7 blanks. Good luck. Have fun.